If you're planning your first trip to Pattaya, or you've just come back from one and you can't stop thinking about it, you need to hear this. Because I've watched perfectly rational men with careers, savings, families, self-respect, walk into this place for a bit of fun and walk out thousands of dollars poorer, emotionally wrecked, and quietly ashamed of who they became while they were here. Watch the video to end, because Pattaya can ruin you if you're not pre-warned. So, picture this. You're a guy in your 40s, 50s, maybe 60s, landing in Pattaya for the first time. The heat hits you, the smells, the sounds, but what really floors you is the sheer number of stunning women everywhere, not hidden away in some seedy corner, but right out in the open, strolling Beach Road, browsing markets, flashing smiles in shopping malls that make you feel like you've stepped into a dream. For a single man who's maybe gone through a divorce, or just tired of the dating grind back home, where connections feel forced and fleeting, this place feels like pure paradise. Your emotions spike immediately. Excitement, disbelief, a rush of possibility you haven't felt in years. And that's just the beginning of the roller coaster. What makes it so intoxicating isn't the obvious. It's how natural everything seems. Back in the West, encounters with working girls often feel stark, mechanical, like a transaction you'd rather forget. Think Amsterdam's red light district or Vegas escorts, cold business only, no warmth to mask the reality. But here, it's worlds apart. You walk into a bar, buy a drink, and suddenly it's like a casual night out. Laughter, teasing, genuine seeming fun. You pay the bar fine, sure, but then you're off to dinner, maybe a club, dancing under neon lights. Her calling you darling, or something affectionate that lands just right. It doesn't feel paid for, it feels earned, like you've charmed one of the most beautiful women you've met in decades, and everyone around you is doing the same, no judgment, no sideways glances. The guilt evaporates, the embarrassment fades, and before you know it, you're convinced this is how life should be. That first night seals it for a lot of guys. You head back to your hotel, the chemistry electric, the experience mind-blowing. Morning comes, and there's more. Lazy hours together that blur the lines even further. But here's where reality creeps back in. Around lunchtime, you face the choice. Cash out while you're ahead, or roll the dice for night two. This decision, simple as it sounds, is where the addiction takes root. If you stick to what seasoned visitors call the one-day rule, never more than a single night with the same girl, you stay detached. You become that butterfly everyone talks about, moving freely, sampling the scene without strings. It's the safest play, especially for newbies, because emotions don't have time to build. You enjoy the thrill, then move on, keeping things light and varied. But let's be real, most guys ignore that on their first trip. The connection feels too good, too rare, so you extend it. Night two rolls into three, and that's when the emotional layers start piling on. She opens up, showing you her phone, pictures of her family back in the village, the kids she's raising, the elderly parents depending on her. She'll weave in stories, how the money from your first night helped buy medicine for her grandmother or food for the table. "You're such a good man," she'll say, her eyes soft, pulling you deeper. You're sleeping together, eating out, exploring the town, maybe even her whipping up a quick meal in your room. It accelerates to girlfriend territory faster than anything you've known, because she's a pro at this. She reads men like open books, knows the exact words, touches and glances to fan the flames of fantasy, and make no mistake, it's a fantasy tailored for you. For her, this is smart business. Staying with one guy for a week or two means steady income, without the grind of bar hopping or dealing with strangers night after night. It's less risky, more comfortable. If she senses you're the type with a soft spot, she'll aim higher, turning you into a sponsor. You'll head home, but the messages keep coming. "I miss you, darling." Send a little help for the family, and before long, you're wiring money monthly, convinced you're her hero. I've seen it shatter men. Empty bank accounts, broken trust, relationships back home crumbling under the secret strain. Then, as your holiday winds down, comes the final play. The gold. She'll sigh, say how much she'll miss you, how she wants something tangible to remember you by. A ring, perhaps, something she can glance at daily and think of your time together. Western guys often see rings as symbols of love or commitment, and she banks on that emotional pull. But in Thailand, gold is different. It's nearly pure, treated like a second currency. Buy it in one shop, sell it in another for cash the same day. No sentiment attached on her end, just value she can liquidate. It's clever, effective, and it works because by then you're invested, wanting to believe it's real. I've watched this cycle repeat with friends, expats who've been here longer than they planned. One guy I knew, solid career back home, met a girl his first night. Great chemistry, extended it to the full 2 weeks. By the end, he was talking about bringing her over, sponsoring her visa. She even rode with him to the airport, tears in her eyes, promising fidelity. But the next day, she was back at it, same routine with the next arrival. He sent money for months until the truth hit, photos online, stories from mutual contacts. It left him cynical, but he still comes back, chasing echoes of that initial high. That's the core of the addiction, not the physical side, but the emotional validation. In a world where men your age often feel invisible, Pattaya flips the script. You're desired, pursued, made to feel alive again. But it's engineered that way. The girls aren't villains. They're surviving, supporting extended families, kids, parents, even the village pets. Family is everything here. Your role is provider, whether for a night or a lifetime. If it's not your cash, it's someone else's. Harsh, but true. For first-timers, I can't stress this enough. Enforce the one-day rule rigidly. 3 days might work for veterans who've built up resistance. But for you, even 2 nights can hook you deep. The holiday bubble, away from responsibilities, routine, amplifies everything. Feelings intensify, logic slips. Stick to 1 night and you control the narrative. Explore, enjoy the variety, leave with your heart intact. Now, some guys seek the opposite, the full girlfriend experience, or GFE. That's where she acts like a real partner. Shopping trips, intimate dinners, affection without the overt transaction feel. It's appealing if you're craving companionship over conquests, but it's a high-wire act. Only chase it if you're experienced, the kind of man who's seen enough to keep emotions locked down. Otherwise, it spirals into sponsorship, and that's a long game you rarely win. Exceptions exist. Real connections form sometimes, but they're rare, like winning the lottery. Most end in disappointment. Let's talk practicalities to keep you grounded amid the haze. Approaching a girl? Forget Western pickup lines, they're cheesy and ineffective here. On the street or in a bar, 2 words do the trick. Bai nai, it means, where are you going? And signals your intent subtly. Every girl in the scene knows the implied follow-up. Bai dwai, let's go together. If she ignores you or walks away, no harm. If she stops, smiles, chats, she's open. Suggest a drink immediately. Head to a nearby bar or cafe. Build rapport first. Talk about her day, share a laugh, gauge the vibe. Chemistry isn't just about looks, it's the spark that makes the night memorable. Only after that rapport clicks do you broach money. Never, ever ask how much. It's rude, gives her the upper hand to overcharge, and risks her losing face if you counter low. Instead, state your offer plainly. I can give you this amount. Is that okay? She'll accept or decline based on the connection you've built and what she needs. Good rapport almost always tips it to yes. It respects her, keeps things smooth. Location matters too. Steer clear of bars right by your hotel, especially early in your stay. You'll pass them daily, often with different company, and the Thai chatter, comments, jabs, can turn awkward fast. Save those spots for your final days. Bar fine then, enjoy, and jet out without fallout. Want variety from the same bar? Possible, but handle it right. Declare yourself a butterfly up front. Walk in, chat with the group, say clearly, I'm here for fun, no one girlfriend, want to take different ladies, okay? They appreciate the honesty, no one loses face. But if you bond with one, take her exclusively, then return for another, that's a face-losing blow. The first girl claims you as her customer, switching insults her publicly. Grudges linger. I've crossed paths with women years later who still blank me cold over something similar from a decade ago. Face is sacred here. Trample it, and doors close. Massage shops. They're a mixed bag, but clues abound. The upscale ones on Main drags like Second Road. Glass fronts, uniformed staff, plush chairs, deliver legit Thai or oil massages. Professional, relaxing, no frills beyond that. Contrast with the side street spots, dimmer lighting, girls in casual or revealing outfits, a rougher vibe. Those often lead to happy endings or more. Experience sharpens your eye quickly. Start conservative if unsure. Financially, one ironclad rule: cash rules everything. Never pull out your credit or debit card in bars, go-go's or sketchy spots. Cards get cloned, swiped extra times. I've heard horror stories of charges popping up months later, back home, draining accounts. Explain that to your bank. Embarrassing at best. Stick to international chains like big hotels or supermarkets for card use, or ATMs inside banks. Pattaya's a cash economy. Embrace it to stay safe. As the scene shifts, bars get rebuilt, crowds evolve, the human element endures. The pull of Pattaya isn't the neon or the nightlife. It's the mirage of effortless connection, the ego boost in a phase of life where it often feels scarce. But illusions crack under weight. Go in eyes wide, rules firm. One night, max for starters. Savor the highs, sidestep the lows. You'll return home energized, not entangled. If this resonates, if you felt that pull or seen a buddy succumb, reflect on it. The game's seductive, but forewarned is forearmed. Pattaya can be magic, or a maze. Choose wisely and it stays the former. Now, next up, watch the video on the screen right now. It will show you how to get laid in Pattaya fast and easy. See you next time.